And we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Captain Future Show. This is Reflection Day 2 after our version of the online Almedalen this year, Commons Valley, a ship of a new story. And with me, I have the man behind the ship, Stellan Nordahl.
Okay, we're a lot of people there are onboarded on right now.
Yeah.
I guess that we have been, I would say, at least 100 people engaged in the dialogues and panels and so on.
Yeah. And it's been like, you just throw this together and it works so good. So many people and so many things, but you have a great crew behind you on this ship as well. So.
We're a lot of crew members, and hopefully we can engage more crew members. This is all about the shift from striving to become best in the world to all be best for the world. And in the best of worlds, I would say everyone would be onboarding on that ship.
Of course, like we should.
So right now, I would say the biggest possibility we have is to engage young people. I mean, if we talk about some kind of a future, I would say young people are the future. And engage those young people in the dialogues and in the democratic arenas around the world.
Yes. So what is the great takeaway from today then?
Yes, the great takeaway. That's a personal takeaway always for me. I would say it's hard to otherwise it's hard to condense something. You have to have your personal engagement within it. And I would say for me, we have been, I mean, the topic of the day have been guiding principles. And I would say a guiding principles is to involve more people in dialogues and definitely those affected or engaged in the topic that are in the dialogue. For instance, if we talk about young people, they should definitely be part of the dialogue. Or if we talk about elderly, they should be engaged in the dialogue and so on. So for me, that's a principle. I would say that we could really increase the effect from that.
Yeah, no. But as far as I'm listening to some of the conversations I've been visiting today, there's very deep conversations about the future of our society. Yesterday was a lot about SDG and education, and today was also about education and the perspective of the young people that are seldom represented in the original Almedalen as well. So.
Yeah, and the stories behind it. I mean, either we think that it's someone else that should do something, someone else doesn't do it, and then we get angry that someone else doesn't fix it. Instead, shifting it to more a proactive perspective where you can engage. And one of the topics was about the young people and how can we get experiences about life and work life for young people this summer as ordinary part-time jobs don't exist this summer because of COVID. And I would say one of the takeaways there for me, and I guess also for the panel in that case, we had a workshop first and then a panel afterwards, was that, okay, the municipalities, they can do their thing and the companies and the organizations can do their, but young people or anyone could also engage and make a difference by themselves or together in groups or in constellations.
Yeah.
So you don't have to sit down and wait for someone to fix your situation. You can actually engage in it and take part.
Yeah, and that's really what we have to do. And we talked a lot about teaching the young that democracy isn't something like that old people does. Democracy is something that they do. They take active part in shaping that.
All of us, and it's not something politicians do. Of course, they do that, but I mean, the most of the politics today is done in the day-to-day life, all around the world, all in all various situations, various arenas, various, I mean, at the breakfast table, at the working place, in the societies, or even when you go to the grocery store. That's where we create our world.
Yeah, indeed, with us. And my takeaways today is also been like the great conversation I had with tonight at the dinner, because we said, like, just like Almedalen, you go to Almedalen and you sit there all day listening to panels, mingle with some people, you go to a workshop and you meet some people in the fantastic street, but then the networking begins in the evening. You go to maybe a couple of mingles, and you go to a dinner, and then later on you maybe stay up all night having deep conversations with people around very heavy or light subjects, depending on your mood, or you go dancing and everything. So, like, it's a fantastic event. And like Real Almedalen, we had 2 dinners, both yesterday and today, and you brought the most fantastic gift for everyone there. What is that?
Yeah, the capability cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not only a metaphor and a symbol. It's also, I mean, when we look at symbols, at least I've been taught that it's just representing something. But the interesting thing with symbols is that it's not just only representing something. It's also what it's supposed to represent. In this case, a capability cape. And when people get it on, they get straight into their back and they look at the world in a different way. And yeah, totally mind shift, and also in appearance, how they look and how they engage, how they move. So this is something that I believe we need more of. Maybe a physical symbol at first, but then you can take your mental capability cape with you at any time and under any circumstance. And yeah, that's instead of a victim hoodie.
Yeah, victim hoodie or sacrificial vest or something like that. So also have my here we go. Let's see if this works. Yeah, the capability cape you gave me yesterday, the blue one that really goes well with my red. So, and everyone has to choose their own color. You had a person make this for us.
It's a young entrepreneur who was part of one of the entrepreneur programs that I am engaged in. It's a young woman called Annie Oskarsson, and she is her entrepreneurial idea and the company she's having this summer is about a circular idea on niching. I think it's called niching.
Knitting, yeah.
Knitting, okay, knitting. And I asked her, do you only knit or do you also sew? So she said, yeah, I can fix that. So she sat down and produced a lot of those capability capes.
In all kinds of colors, and everyone
in all kinds of colors,
yeah, and everyone shines up when I get there on, and I can see that in their eyes. And some people are a little bit shy about like wearing silly stuff like this. I can see that directly when we walk outside in the street, they take it off because they're a little bit not comfortable standing out like I do. I can walk around all day.
I always bring mine in my backpack, so I have my whole office always with me, the computer and the iPad and stuff like the cables and the capability cape, and it makes changes. I've had so many fantastic moments with this capability cape, and one, for instance, last autumn, I was working with a municipality, part of a municipality here in Sweden, and we had some planning a strategy day, and one woman there, we looked at her, and she really needed something, and that was a capability cape, and it was like a totally different person, and the whole conversation went in another direction about other topics, and that's super interesting. So it really creates something with us, and I would say there are capability capes for everyone. They go in any color and in any shape, and instead of those victim hoodies that we very often put on ourselves because we believe that's the only option we have, and we find ourselves in a victim mode. and where like the circumstances are dictating our world. And when you get the capability cape on, you see that it's creator mode you're moving yourself into, and you can create, I would say, and everything is entirely possible.
Yeah, it is, and it really works. It's like it's may seem like a silly thing, but it really works. And I have a good friend called Casey Fenton. He goes every year to an event in Oslo called Catapult Future Fest, and he brings his sewing machines, and he brings 3 large suitcases of spandex, and he sits there all the way with a team of 4 sewing crazy pants for everyone on this event. Sadly, we didn't get it this way, but every year you can see there are some like impact investors in traditional business suits and everything, and I walk up to the stand, I check it out a little bit, what this is, and says, Casey says, you have to wear one, of course, okay, and I pick their color, and they use a scissor to cut their own pants, and then they sew them together, and they drag them over the spandex pants over the business suit, and they transform. You can literally see it in their eyes, so they transform to a more open and loose person. So think of simple hacks like the capability cape or crazy pants really works. It's a simple social hack, an identity hack.
And I don't know if you had that in the show yesterday when you did a sum up of day one, but we had this guy yesterday when we were at the restaurant. He was the restaurant owner. I don't know if you mentioned that yesterday.
I think I mentioned it, but you can tell the story again.
Okay. The story is that we went to a fantastic place just near the sea in Helsingborg here in Sweden. And we sat there, we were like 10 people, and we all wear those capability capes. And he got very curious and interested, and we talked about them and said that they were fantastic. What color is your favorite color? And he said, hi, green. And here is a capability cape for you. And he put it on, and he was like, he really liked it. And he went around there, and after half an hour or something, he came back and he wanted to bring it back for us. And I said, no, it's yours. And he was, mine? Dude, is it real? It's really mine? Yes, it is. And then he went away again, and it took another half an hour, and then he came back and he said, I had just a fantastic experience. There were 2 women. They ordered some kind of special coffee drink, and they asked me, can you do that? And I was just about to say no, but then I looked at my cape and I said, yes, of course. and so he fixed that problem with a smile on his face. And then it took some half an hour again, and he came back to our table, and then he said, this is a fantastic capability cape. He said, this autumn I will get married. The 5th of September I will get married. I will wear this capability cape. I love that.
I love that too. It's just an amazing story. Just a chance encounter with someone like that.
So now I got a new friend on Facebook. So So Roger, if you're looking, fantastic story, and I'm looking forward to see the pictures from your wedding.
Yeah, me too now. And you and you brought them last year to Almedalen as well, and we got one for Rehab, and it transformed him as well, and like simple things like that. So what do we look forward to tomorrow?
Yeah, we look forward to a lot of stuff. Just before we do that, I would say another principle which I believe we already touched upon yesterday, even if we're focusing on fundamental assumptions, is the principle of both and instead of either or. So when we talk about black and white, it's not either or. It could be a scale, and that scale could also be in color. So many more dimensions into it. First of all, not in opposition. It's more like any shade or any scale, but also any dimension of it. So both and before either or. For instance, when we talk about the digital meetings right now that we're conducting here in Almedalen or Commons Valley, a lot of people that hear this idea that we don't want to close down, we want to shift instead. We want this shift to happen, and we want to engage more people. They say, okay, but those digital meetings, they're good in many ways, but you really need a physical meeting. And I said, of course, and we can have the digital meetings. So maybe if you have been home for this spring in home schooling at home, or if you have been home working from home, I mean, the option is not the opposite. Always go to a working place somewhere else. I mean, 100 kilometers away or something each day. Instead, maybe do that once a week, and then you can do the rest from home. So, yeah, it's a combination of stuff.
Yeah, thanks for summing this up for us, Stellan. And what are we looking forward to tomorrow?
Yes,
I know I'm going to participate.
A lot of workshops tomorrow. There are a lot of workshops. We're moving into the next theme. The theme for the third day is being the change. And how can we be the change that we want to see in the world? So it's manifestation of things. So workshops is a way to do that, and we have a lot of workshops on the agenda, and we also have interesting dialogues and panels. And one of them is the first one. I mean, there are so many topics in this world, so many things that we need to shift or develop or transform and stuff like that. In this case, it's about ending the poor the problem with rich and
poverty.
Poor. Poverty and extreme poverty. And in this case, poverty on a local scale. I mean, a lot of people maybe see Sweden as a country with a lot of wealth and so on, but we also have poor and people in poverty, and in this specific case, young people, kids in poverty. So if we're as humans and as adults and as a member of a society or well citizen, I would say this must be fixed immediately. We can't wait to 2030. It has to be now. And I mean, this is actually a no-brainer because it's a system thing. It's not on many levels like other questions could be on a personal level, organizational, societal. This is only on a societal level, almost only on a societal level.
Yeah, it is.
So we have to find a solution quick here.
And if you're available at 10 a.m. Swedish time tomorrow, I'll be joining a workshop called Dance with Uncertainty. That looks very cool and promising. So please tune in for that. I'll share a link for that in the Facebook.
It's a great facilitator there, Pontus, who is facilitating the workshop, and he is a well-known innovation leader here in Sweden. So and also abroad in many countries. I guess he has been working in San Diego with some projects lately, and I know he has a lot of ideas, and he's also seen a lot of things. So Dance with Uncertainty, that's the name of it, and Pontus will tell you more tomorrow.
Yeah, cool. So bye everyone, and we will certainly do a Zoom up. We'll do a sum up tomorrow's night as well. Maybe not as late as this one, we don't know, but let's see. I have the link for Dance with Uncertainty here.
You put it in the that's great. So if you want to join, it's a Zoom workshop, so it's conducted in Zoom. So the Zoom link is now presented by you, Michael. That's right.
Yeah, it is. So great, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. And if you have any questions, you want to join in, please contact me or Stellan, and we'll make that happen. We'll give you links and every information you need. So we love you all. Bye, everyone.
Give me 5 seconds. There is another workshop, but we don't still yet have the link to
detail.
That. But the life purpose, it's in later on the same day. It's Alexandra Skoglund, who is a transformational coach and life coach. She is having a life purpose workshop in the afternoon, Swedish time. So maybe we can repost that also in this, maybe tomorrow if you get...
I'll find a link and post it tomorrow.
Great. Super. Take care, everyone, and take care, Michael. And then see you in the future, tomorrow.
Stellan is actually in the room over there, so we're in the same house. Good night, everyone.
Good night.